Go ahead. Turn it up. It's the Record Machine Show with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome singer-songwriter Jessie Berkshires. Jessie, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, James?
Very good. Where are you calling from today?
Right outside Detroit.
Was that where you're from?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Lions fan?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Are you a Lions fan?
Not really, but I mean, I kind of had to, follow along there with what they were doing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, the thing is the cool thing about Lions fans is, like, even though they lost, everybody here was still really proud, like, of everything and how they come. So I kind of thought that was really cool,
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been in it.
Yeah, I forget how long, but yeah, it's been quite some time. But yeah, definitely, I'm definitely an artsy gal, not a sports gal.
Yeah.
But how could you not ignore that?
Yeah, I mean, they had a great season. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I watched them lose 4 Super Bowls in a row in the 90s.
Oh yeah, so you're familiar. You know how that feels.
Yes. So you say you grew up in Detroit, huh?
Yeah, I've been in Michigan most of my life. I moved here when I was like in preschool. And then I lived south of Detroit for, my childhood. And then after college, moved to the Detroit area and kind of been here ever since. So, yeah.
Very cool. Now, tell me about your musical background. When did you first get involved in music?
So I first got involved in music in 5th grade. So music definitely came to me very, very young. I always did music in school. And I started pursuing an undergraduate degree in music education at the University of Toledo. That's what I was starting to pursue in my 20s. And then when I was a junior in college, I decided to switch gears because I was in my 20s and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get a job, spending all this money on college.
Mm-hmm.
And but after that, I became a therapist, and I did that for a while because I just wanted to work with people and help people. But I always still was dabbling, playing, never stopped playing. But music definitely took a back seat for quite some time. And then after I had my daughter, I decided to go back to grad school, and I pursued a degree in user experience design and software. So completely different change.
Wow.
And then after COVID, I stopped doing that and decided to just kind of take a break for a minute. Mm-hmm. And then during that time, prior to that, I had started playing in bands and things like that again. And I really, really liked it. But of course, with COVID, it put a stop, to all of that, and I just, started playing music with my husband. And then another friend we started playing with another one of my friends. And then, who's a guitar player. And then another one of my friends who's a drummer. Another one of my friends who's a synth player. And then boom, we had a band.
Nice.
And that was a couple years ago. And so we started doing that, and then we just started gigging all over Detroit. I really leaned into my connections that I had made, prior, to COVID, and kind of leaned into the local network here. And, that's what really got it started for me again, so a couple of years ago, doing that. And in that, I write, a ton of songs. So the Jessie Berkshires project kind of came about because, the band, project, the music is a little different than the solo project. So it just kind of all took over, from there. So, cause there was just so much music to make. And so my husband and I, that's our passion project now.
Nice. Now, who are your biggest musical influences and how have they shaped your style, would you say?
So one of my biggest musical influences for sure is Sylvan Esso. And the way that they've shaped this project in particular, I think is, the fact that it is a duo, and they are, partners in life and in everything. And they work together, and, the way that they are able to make really cool electronic soundscapes with this more folksy, ethereal, vocals has always been something that's really resonated with me. So their influence is always, very present, in everything that we're doing.
Nice. Now, this podcast is going to feature 2 of your tracks, Testify and Enough. What's the story behind the 2 songs?
So the story behind Testify, actually, it started out as, so one of my bandmates, his name is Jeff. And he actually just recently moved to France with his wife.
Nice.
And I miss him very much. And he is a super duper talented composer, musician, synth player, just overall, just creative guru. And he sent me this MP3 of the the backing track, which is now the backing track of Testify. And he'll do this from time to time where he'll send me a bunch of backing tracks. And he's like, hey, whatever you can do with some of these, see if you can do something. That track right away, boom, I heard it. And I was like, okay, I can make something out of this. So I wanted to do something kind of different. And it just, sometimes when things, hit you, it just kind of clicks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for this one, it was like dark electronic, and it really just kind of got me like in the mood, being like moody, dark electronic. And so the verse is very, just kind of like in your face, kind of letting you know what's up. And then the chorus kind of pulls back a little bit, and it's really kind of haunting with all the whispering. And I sent to, my friend and my husband. So we're the kind of team that works behind, the Jessie project.
Mm-hmm.
And they loved it. And then we wanted to turn it into something. So it was cool when Jeff was still here in the States. We workshopped that song together live, and we added, some different layer instruments and things like that to it. And then we just decided to produce it because it was such a vibe. And then Enough is more traditional in the sense of the way that my husband and I's kind of production, team works. Not that, every song is very different, but this was a little bit more typical. I had made a demo of Enough. I had literally enough one day of just all of the racing thoughts in my head. And I wanted to write a song about it. And I was able to kind of sit down, I had a few different kind of ideas and structures in mind. And I used, for that one in particular, I was stuck, and I used ChatGPT to help me out a little bit with some chord structure ideas. And then I started just, going to town in Logic and created it. And it was one of those songs that came together really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband really liked it. We were actually on a train from Amsterdam to Paris last fall, and listening through all of the demos. And that's when he decided that was the next one he was going to produce. So kind of fun story, when we travel, we'll listen to the demos that he and I make and kind of make those decisions with like a clear mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to town on it, making it, what it is that everybody's been hearing. And super proud of that one because of the amount of vocal layers specifically that are on that track.
Nice. Now that one just came out, right? That's the latest single, right?
Yeah, it just came out last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was on NPR yesterday. That's always super duper exciting for me. I just feel like my family is so on what it is that I'm doing. Once it hits NPR, they're like, all right, now NPR, here we go. So that's always really, big accomplishment for me when I can, get that airtime locally, because that's something that I grew up, listening to. So it's really cool to see that happen.
Yeah, congratulations. Now, will there be a music video for Enough?
Yes. Actually, it comes out this Friday.
Nice.
And I'll be premiering it. There is an arts council in the town that I live in, and they're having a big showcase this Friday for all of the local artists in the area. And I said, I know this is a little untraditional, but can I show my music video that I made? And, they were like, yeah, let's mix it up. So that'll actually be really fun. It'll be the first time I'll be premiering like a video in front of like a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool. That'll be really fun, and presenting it. But yeah, I recorded that earlier this year, and I'm really excited for everyone to see that one. I was able to get super duper creative with that, and making videos is something that last summer I kind of decided that was something I wanted to do to mm-hmm. bring these songs to life, and also just to connect with them a little bit more. And I have a very busy brain, and I always need creative outlets. And, it satisfies both the like creative and technical side, of any project that I like to take on. Like I said, it really helps me connect deeper with the song. I'm actually in the middle of a shoot right now for my next song that we're working on called Dance With You.
Nice.
And that song, oh my God, I'm beyond excited for that song. We actually had a saxophone player in our studio this past weekend recording some live saxophone for us and on this next track. So it's very like inspired by M83.
Uh-huh.
And we've been kind of compared to that, from time to time with this project. And I like just, that's one of my favorite bands of all time, so the fact that we're making music that's, kind of comparable, to, it reminds people of them is very cool. Very, very cool.
Nice.
So the videos are something that, I really love doing, and I find them to be a challenge, creatively, and it really kind of puts me, really holds me accountable, again, for, really telling my audience, what is the song about?
Right. When composing a new song, what comes first, the lyrics or the melody?
Oh, anything. It really just depends. I'm definitely more melody driven. I was younger when I was in my teens and 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I always was a lyrics first kind of person, where it was always like an outlet, for me. But now, over the last couple of years, I would say, 8 times out of 10, it's melody. I'll get something in my head, or, that I, go through the whole, step of, just humming it out on a voice memo and then translating that to, a riff on the piano and letting it kind of grow from there. But then, sometimes, just some lyrics will come to mind and I'll start jotting those down, and boom, it'll become something. But these days, more melody. I think it's just because I make more music now than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my ear goes to. Whereas before, the way that I would write, it was all emotive, and now my songwriting has gotten to the point where I can write about anything, with a good melody, I can tell a story.
Awesome. Now, what tools or instruments are essential in your songwriting, would you say?
Oh, I like to keep it really simple. I use Logic, and so I always have DAW to work with, and then a MIDI controller, a microphone. That's really all I need to make what it is that I make. And my husband is amazing and always makes sure that I have the best stuff, because I would be happy working with just, whatever equipment, but he always, hooks me up with all of really nice stuff, and makes sure that it's working properly for me all the time, because I'm not a gearhead at all.
Nice.
And I'm definitely, I bow to his expertise, with things like that. But I love keyboards. I love all the different kinds of synths and things like that. So I would say that, and also for me, for composing, an actual piano is really important, because there's something about the tenderness of sitting down with a piano and being able to compose and really strip things down.
Now, you have a couple of singles out, and you just mentioned there's going to be a new one on the way. Do you plan on releasing a full-length album at any point? And if so, when?
Yeah, next year, maybe not a full-length album, but an EP, because my husband and I are both very busy in general. And we also have this other, we have our band's project, which also needs our attention and support. And we're going to be, trying to release a few of those songs as well over the next year. But next year I would really like to, when the nature of writing songs and making songs and producing songs is you end up writing a lot of songs that will never really see the light of day, because they really don't have single potential. So what I would really like to do is take some of those songs and actually, produce them and put them on an EP or something sometime next year. That would be ultimate goals. And with the way that we've been able to work and hit these goals and, hit the metrics and things like that we want, I can see that being very realistic.
Cool. Now, what impact has social media had on your growth and interaction with your fans, would you say?
It's been cool. It's been so interesting. I have made friends online. I love being able to, have, my favorite thing is when somebody will comment. Somebody said recently, because I recorded clarinet in one of my singles that I released, and somebody had commented, about that, and that just made my day, so being able to connect is awesome. And I know for me, I have really found a lot of my favorite artists over the last, I would say 2 years, over social media. So I know how important it is. The hustle of it is hard. I would say it can be a little exhausting keeping up, with all the content and things like that. But I think, planning ahead and really, making sure that you engage in your community makes it fun, and not so overwhelming. But yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, without social media, I wouldn't be able to reach out to people like you, and get to know people like you and have those opportunities to connect and network. So it's been important, through and through, especially for booking shows.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that has been huge for my band. I would say using Instagram is and Facebook both, is I feel like I might be a little too old for TikTok, but I give it a go.
Yeah, why not? I think I found you on Instagram. You must have ran an ad or something like that.
Yeah, and that's just the thing too, is Instagram makes it really easy and accessible for independent artists to post like or I should say purchase like affordable advertising. Mm-hmm. To really boost your post. And at first I felt like, well, doesn't that cheapen the experience, a little bit? And then the more that I've read, the more that I've talked to other artists, no, absolutely not. You should boost these posts. You should, put a few dollars on it, because if you're looking for exposure, you have to pay $15 for it. Or if it costs, like $0, for like constantly just screaming into a void, because, especially when you're first starting out, it can really feel like that, where you're screaming into a void and, just nobody's hearing what it is that you're doing. So, these little, $10, $15 here and there really go a long way at expanding that network. So I have found that to be extremely effective. So I'm strategic on which posts that I boost and which posts that I don't, because, I think that makes a big difference. And for me, it's been all about experimentation and not really having any sort of like expectation as to like, oh, this will be it. This is, this is going to go viral. This is going to,
right.
Whatever. But yeah, it's a great way to stay in touch with people and gain, fans. And that's something that I never thought would be like a reality, and it's very cool.
Yeah, I've found many great guests from Instagram just by looking at ads and then following their pages on the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And Instagram and I would say Instagram and Google Ads really, like I really do. They make it affordable and accessible, for independent artists to do that, which I found really surprising. I thought it was going to be really expensive, to do that, but it's really not. Now,
besides social media, do you have a website you'd like to promote?
Yeah, I have a small little website, jessieberkshires.com. I keep it updated, with any sort of shows that I have coming up, keep it updated with music. And then, as things kind of progress along, merch and things like that, it'll be in there. And there's, other pictures and different artwork and things like that there that people can check out.
Awesome. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
Oh man, we covered a lot, I just want to thank you for taking the time to want to talk to me, it's always a cool experience to kind of take a moment, to kind of reflect on what it is that I've been doing. But no, I mean, just stay tuned on everything it is that I have coming up. Not only do we have this next song coming up, but, there's another song right after that coming. And then starting this summer, I'll be starting to play live again. The next show that I have scheduled is with my band, and that'll be coming up in June, late June. We took a little bit of a break from playing shows. As I mentioned, one of my bandmates moved to France. So we've been trying to, kind of figure out how we do these live shows without him. It's kind of like losing an appendage a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're figuring that out. But, come summertime, we'll be playing live again. And so that's something to really start to look forward to, because recording and releasing is super fun. And reaching fans that way. But oh my gosh, I'm so ready to play in front of people again. I'm ready to do that. That's where, some of the best, experiences that I've had over the last couple of years have come from.
I'm sure. Well, Jessie, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really dig the music that you've put out so far, and I'm looking forward to hearing some more great stuff from you in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll definitely reach out and let you know. Anything else that I have coming out. And I definitely appreciate you taking the time and being curious and everything about what it is that I'm doing. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, send me, if you got anything new that you want to promote, send it to me. Especially when that EP comes out. I'd love to have you back on again. All right.
Oh yeah. Well, if I start working on that, I'll probably disappear for a little while.
Okay.
So you'll know it's coming is when you don't hear from me for a little while. It means I'm just in the studio and looking forward to those times. But yeah, this project continues to grow and have so much potential. So yep. So stay tuned.
All right, sounds great. Well, you take care. Have a great day, and like I said, stay in touch. All right.
All right, will do.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Howell Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show. The Record Machine Show.